Hello. I'm gonna give y'all like my honest opinion of like college, or out there exactly what you need to do in order to just survive. I did not have like my parents buying everything for me when it came to supplies and everything. I was really in a one-parent household. I remember my freshman year, how I thought I should have went about it, like how I went about it was, I need to get the supplies for this thing, and this thing, and this thing. The list that they give you in the syllabi, boo-boo the food long, and you can't afford any of that. So you're trying to look like, okay, so how can I afford to get Photoshop, which is like $240 a year, getting fabric books that are like $218 when it comes to that much money, buying some art supplies that's like Bristol boards, along with getting Prismacolors, getting gouache, and getting other paint. When you're getting all this stuff, it does help you. But some things like newsprint, you're gonna use newsprint like for live sketches, and you're never gonna use that shit again, like ever. Unless you're going and you're continuing your education, or if you do use that often, you don't really use it. And I was just like, okay. Like, I'm broke. I can't say that I've had like close to 6 or 7 jobs when it came to all the jobs that I've had in the past 4 or 5 years there, because I was trying to get this coin. I didn't have time to sit around and be like, oh, okay, like, I think I'm just gonna like, you know, ask my parents for this. When it came to my parents, I wasn't gonna have a lot of support. I had a lot of support from, you know, my mom's side. For the rest of it, I wanted to like give a load off. And like when you're going to college, it just feels like it's a lot for your parents to take on. So I had a couple jobs. So my professors, if she wanted to get Bristol board and all this like watercolor paper and marker paper, you know what I used? I went to Walmart, I got this $12 paper. It was 60 sheets, 11 by 14. This one class, and I used all of this. You can use it for pencil, pen, marker, acrylic, watercolor, coated, versatility, and durability. Heavyweight for journaling and collaging by Canson, which I think is an Italian brand. It's very thick. I got that and I used that the whole semester. And I turned in every single assignment. Some people in my class were turning in 5 different mediums, wet media, acetate, and all that during the whole semester. And I was like, okay, this is great, but I turned in the same thing on that one medium paper. I sure did, because I was broke. I kind of set in motion a contingency plan, how I can just stay on top of my work. So I like work constantly. I bought like a sewing machine. I already came to school with a sewing machine. It was like a $99 single machine. That $99 machine got me through like the first collection I ever made, and it got me through my first assignments. Like that machine at 32 stitches, you really just need 1 stitch. Juki machines, you just need 1. It has 1 stitch. And on some Berninas, it has the zigzag stitch, which is for knits. But other than that, like, they were the Ferraris of sewing machines. It would be like 0 to 60 in like that quick when it came to sewing. And honestly, I never worked on like a industrial sewing machine, so I had to learn real quick. At like Kent State, it was truly, during your assignments, it doesn't matter. They tried to put everyone on the same level. So some people came in, they didn't know how to sew. It's not, my parents didn't really understand, because it's not like a traditional college experience. You don't just go with your laptop and a book at Starbucks and you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this assignment. No. If you show up to class, which some people did show up to class, with their garments not sewn together,
you get an F.
And that's exactly what happened to some people. Some professors, for some portfolio, you know, they made some girls and some people cry up in class. And I was like, you know what, I refuse to cry. Like, I pay about, you know, 500 plus a credit hour. I don't got time for this. You truly have to have a thick skin, because some professors will literally
tear you down.
Some of them are critiquing you, and it's for the best. They're trying to get you ready for the field, because not everywhere is a safe space. Safe spaces don't prepare you for what is out in the real world. Once you leave that bubble, it is fight or flight when it comes to you surviving in the world. But I wouldn't take it like personally when it comes to a professor critiquing you. When it comes to schools to pick, I chose Kent State because I wanted a school where it wouldn't be an actual art school. For me, like Columbia College was an option because of the time I went to fashion design. I accepted. I didn't want to go like downtown. As I got older, I really was like, okay, I miss the city. But at the time I felt like, but that's when I was older. I went through the whole process of being at a college town, and I felt like I needed to have that college experience. So I went to Kent State. They offered me a decent amount of scholarship money. It was not a full ride. It was more than Columbia. My sister went to Columbia and she didn't like it, so I was like, okay, never mind. She didn't like it. I went to visit Kent and I was like, this is a big school. I don't mind big schools. Some people like medium schools. Some people like small schools. I felt like I was content with where I was. For other schools, I would do your research if you are in high school. If you're obsessive over where you're going to school, then you're on the right track because you're going to be there for 4 years. You're going to be paying there for 4 years. Like some people I know have been in college for 6 years. Some people I know in college 7 or 8 years. They've been at the same school because they truly love that school. Sure, it has ups and its downs. That's fine. I feel like it prepared me for things to come in the future. I have learned to deal with tolerance, patience, and my own self-value. It's all worth it in the end. You have to be able to essentially hustle. Book smarts and street smarts need to go together. It's just this sense of a systematic thing of you getting a college degree. A lot of the time, I essentially was around classes where some kids did know how to finesse their way through college. Now, I wasn't the type of person that was going to eat ramen. I just absolutely refused to eat ramen. My parents taught me how to cook. I was about to cook. I was not about to eat ramen. The only ramen I was about to eat was noodles in a cup, 70 cents at Walmart. I would bake baked macaroni and cheese with mustard cheese, Colby Jack, sharp cheddar, cheddar jack, along with textured macaroni elbows, half and half, some eggs, pepper, and different types of spices. Put it up in there in the oven, and I would cook that. I would cook lasagna if I had to cook lasagna. I was not about to eat ramen noodles. No, ma'am, I was not about to eat that. Do you think I actually bought books? No. You will never use them books again. I will tell you right here and now, you will never ever use them books, ever. And I'm not saying that you don't need them for class. You probably won't need them for class, but I will go through the links through the libraries, wherever you are, figure out if the library has that book, you check that out, you keep renewing it, whatever chapters you need.
You go through that syllabus.
Okay. Go through the syllabus, you look at the chapters. I'm about to scan each chapter, and then I'm about to come out of class with this printed out version of this chapter on this copy paper. And I'll sit there, everybody got their books around me. Some people are looking like, what in the ghetto mess? What in the ghetto mess? What in the ghetto mess is this?
I didn't give a damn.
I was sitting there with my staple papers, and I was like, oh, okay. Professor, he's talking about art history. That's exactly what I did. I sat there and I flipped the pages along with everybody else where they had like their binded books, and I was like, okay, I got my staple papers. That's exactly what went down. I was not gonna pay $200 for our history book. I know I'm gonna use it in my career, but you can definitely Google that. You can use it on Pinterest. Like, Pinterest is heaven nowadays. I ain't got money to be buying books for $200. You got money to be buying books for $200. Do I look like I drive a Range Rover to you? No, I don't. Because I was broke. So that's exactly what I did. That. Get the Joann's app on your phone if you ever have to go to Joann's or go to Michael's for art supplies. And you check them coupons. I wouldn't pay full price for anything. I got a portfolio case. I would not pay $20 for a portfolio case. I would go to Michael's and get that 50% off and pay $12 for it. That's exactly what you should do. I ever had like to get this, I would say $12 or $10 at Walmart. Get that 50% off coupon from Michael's and get it for $6 and call it a day. That's exactly what I would do because I don't got time to be wasting money on y'all. I just really don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't get good quality stuff, you should, but sometimes it really matters about the artist. It's not really the supplies, it is like, that's like the athlete saying that's not really the athlete's gear, it's the athlete. It's not really the artist's gear, it's the artist, and that's literally how it is. I would focus on your craft. You know, I've made some of the best things off of a pen and a pad. or a pencil and a pad. That's literally how it is. You get inspiration from random places, and that's exactly how it is. And that's how you do it. Because honestly, when it comes to some kids around you have more fun than you, and that's all right. Like, you got to figure out your own way. Like, everyone doesn't have the same path as you, and that's completely fine. But you shouldn't down yourself because you don't have it, because honestly, that's the way it be, and that's how it is.